How would you feel about buying something that you already own twice? Hey guys, ANTOSS back again with another review, and today I am showing you the Kanger Protank 2. Okay, there she is. It is a bottom coil clearomizer running at 2.2 ohms, and I currently have it on the Pro Vari running at 3.7 volts. So if you don't have a VV mod device or you're on an Ego, you know this is how it's going to vape. Yeah, straight off the bat, I can tell you it is a fantastic tasting clearomizer, and it has a really large amount of vapor production, which is great. Okay, now let me just take it off there real quick and explain what it is. Okay, so once again, it is approximately a 2.4 milliliter tank. Okay, and it looks, it looks really, really good. It does. They put a lot of effort in the design, and it's very weighty, and it feels, it feels like it's great quality. Okay. Now, there is a couple of key differences between the Protank 2 and the original. Now, you can see the top side of this clearomizer is actually much different from their usual design of clearomizers. Okay, they've gone away with the nipple drip tip, which is fantastic, and now it is a removable 510 drip tip, so you can put virtually whatever drip tip you would like in there. So that's probably the main difference that they have done, and also the actual shape of the top part of the chrome there is different. Okay, and also the whole tank in itself is actually more or less replaceable. So you can actually buy a part for the glass tank there on its own if you crack it. Now, some people may tell you that that is a selling point, but myself, it is a testament to somewhat of the failed design of the Protank range in general. Okay, so think about it. They're selling Pyrex sleeves on their own, which actually tells me that Kanger are aware, very well aware, and have been aware that these tanks are very, very fragile. Therefore, they have brought out a the actual Pyrex sleeves on their own. Okay, so rather than seeing that as a selling point, I would see that as a sort of a flawed design in the actual tank. Something that you'd never see in a plastic tank. You'd never see a plastic sleeve sort of sold on its own. Okay. Now the other thing that hasn't changed, it still has the two slots at the very bottom. Okay. Now this increases airflow for your drag, so there's very low resistance for your drag, which the original Protank had a problem with also. So the bottom of this Protank is no different from the original. Okay, and also I would like to mention, even though this is called the Protank 2, I would consider this to be more or less the third generation of Protanks. For example, you had the Protank Mini, now the Protank 2. So, this lineup has been around, it's had its time, it's been around for a little bit of time now, and to still not see Kanger have a protective metal sleeve over the glass is, it's quite alarming. And even though they've put on a removable drip tip that a lot of us had wanted, but, if you watch my the original Protank drop test that I did, almost every single comment that I received, mentioned how, yeah, I've cracked my Protank, I've smashed my Protank, I had to go and buy another Protank. So here we are, third generation of Protanks. This is what I would call third generation, and they still have not. They are just feeding us little pieces of cake and wanting us to come back for more. Okay, so it's disappointing in my opinion that they still have not got a protective sheave over this glass. It is very naked, it is very exposed, and be sure to check out my drop test with this, and I would imagine that this is very fragile. Okay, so like I said, it is still very airy. It looks very fragile, and it's very heavy, just like the original. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just turn this up to 4.2. Okay, and once again, this is running at 2.2 ohms. Look, it vapes fantastic, even at 4.2. It actually reminds me how well it reminds me of the T3S, okay, which I actually loved. Now, just like the T3S, there is very little to no heat in the vapor. So if you're after a strong sort of intense throat hit, you will not find it here. Just like the Protank 1, you will not find it with the Protank 2, okay? But it does handle 4.2 very, very well, okay? So that's great. Now, look, if you already own a Protank, the original Protank, besides the drip tip, the removable drip tip, the different look at the top there, and the replaceable glass tank itself, there is little to no difference between the original and the Protank 2. Okay, you can fit your T3S in here, your T3S coils. You can fit your original Protank coils in here also, so that's great. That's worth mentioning, it is. But what is also worth mentioning is that this is $20. Now, if you're like me, you had bought the original Protank for $20 or around that. And so here's the Protank 2 at $20. Besides the drip tip, removable tank, and a slightly different look at the top, there is little to no difference between this and the original, okay? So my personal opinion would be skip the Protank 2 and buy the Kanger T3S instead, okay? Or if you don't like the T3S, if you want a bit of heat in your bottom coils, I would recommend the vape-only BCC Mini Bottom Coil Clearomizer. It is, in my opinion, one of the best on the market, or the Seago G-Hit Type C. Okay, they are far better in throat hit, in heat, and they are like, half the price, and the Seago's even less than half the price. Okay, now when you buy this, you will actually get a nice box like this, which is great, and on the back it has instructions there, which is great, and you will sort of just tap it open, and you will actually have the whole Clearomizer itself is actually completely pulled apart when you pull it out of the box, so you just got to put it all together, and it basically comes with one spare coil there. Okay, so that's great. And it comes with just a 2-page colored instruction manual there. Okay, so it's nicely packaged. It looks good. It feels good. It vapes well. But the price is high. Once again, $20 is a high asking price for something you can already buy for about $6. With the Kanger T3S, all you're really paying for is the materials used, the way they made it look, and that can only go so far. This is an exposed glass, one drop, and I guarantee that this is going to break on you. Okay, and that's $20 down the gurgler. Okay, so my personal opinion is skip the Protank 2. If you already own the Protank 1, skip this one. If you have already owned the Protank 1 and it broke on you, skip this one. It looks fragile, it's heavy, one drop on the floor, and I believe it would sort of break on you. Be sure to check out the drop test. Okay. All right, thanks guys. I'll give it one more vape at 4.2 and I'll get out of here. Okay guys, if you want this, if you're local like me in Australia, check out this new site called vapefox.com.au. It's a great site. It's fairly new, and on your total order, if you click if you type in this code in capitals, VFBC10, or that might be a O, you'll get 10% off, okay? All right, guys, I'll check you later. See you next time.